Yes, you are correct, my friend. The market is always going to be expansion and contraction. So what does it all mean? Well, it means that the market today saw some interesting movements. Bitcoin. The bull runs back on, ladies and gentlemen. Get your altcoins. Go and buy everything. It was one candle. And yeah, I can't stress it enough to you. If Nvidia actually flop on their earnings, we've got a problem. Welcome to tonight's live stream, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here. What do you mean you can't hear anything? Don't give me that. Are we all good with sound? Yeah? How's your day been? I'm exhausted. But never mind. It's all good. Saudi, yes, $1 trillion to the United States. No problem. But what about the other $36 trillion that the US owes? Are we not going to talk about that? Nah, don't worry about it. Welcome to Fiat, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good afternoon. What is good? So we're going to dive into a couple of things tonight. Some mother truckers are selling Nvidia stock. I mean, they make it so bloody obvious. But why? Come on, man. Nvidia's killing it. Maybe this move to the upside explains it, or does it? Maybe is this a little bit of a squeeze before we really get the idea? Tomorrow, zero trading for me. No way. No point. There is no point because the livelihood of the market is relying on Nvidia tomorrow. That is the wildest thing. One stock. One stock. With more market cap than the most GDP countries in the world. Like, what the? Anyways, let's break it all down. I'm going to try and keep this one short and sweet. I say that, but I end up going into some madness and just talk too much. But just want to touch up on something. The good old Epstein files. Bill to disclose more documents relating to late sex offender advances after months of Republican resistance. I'm telling you now, Democrats and Republicans, they're at it. Okay, so is this attempt to try and, disgrace Donald Trump? But he did say here, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein, and I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a very nasty person. But do you understand, right, that Donald Trump's approval ratings have gone down to 38%. And one of the reasons is because of that. Cost of foods or the cost of groceries and what have you, cost of living, all right? And this, which is wild. Do you understand that if the market or Donald Trump were to be found or anything was wrong, okay, and then they ousted Donald Trump, do you understand the implications of that in the marketplace? The market won't know what to do. Does that mean that the new person in power is going to get rid of tariffs? Does that mean the new person in power is going to keep Jerome Powell? Does that mean we're going to keep interest rates higher for longer? Like, what the hell's going to happen? What the hell has happened? Bitcoin, what are you doing, sir? I thought the bull run was happening. Why is it going down? Markets are in full risk off mode. Now, something you'd be like, hold on a sec. Wait, Tina. You buy the blood? Yes, you do. But he's selling his Nvidia stake. He's also sold his Tesla stake. SoftBank sold their Nvidia stake. And Nvidia sort of doing all right. It's been trading at its all-time highs, near enough. Not bad. It's doing okay. I mean, come on, bro. Come on, man. I mean, yeah. Not that it would ever go down beyond $80 nearly. I mean, last time it did do that, but that was back in April with the Trumps and the tariffs. But I mean, if investors lose faith in Nvidia and Nvidia do not come out with stellar performance tomorrow, then ladies and gentlemen, your bull market will be He's losing money. He's lost over 4 billion as MicroStrategy stock falls 52% in 6 months. I mean, it was a little bit of an issue when you gave out the convertible bonds and said to the investors in the terms of the convertible bonds that you got to hold on to this until our stock price doubles. And that was when it was at $325, $380 or something like that. I mean, come on, man. That's a little bit dead now, isn't it? Makes sense, but oh my God, that is absolutely wild. Says he's lost over 4 billion personal wealth in the last 6 months, and MicroStrategy stock and Bitcoin prices have slid. So it's gone down from 5.9 billion all the way down to from 10 billion, which is not really nice to hear that. But I mean, has it helped today that ETFs being sold? Oh, we've had some Bitcoin purchases. Woo! So they offloaded. I mean, they're doing it again with this Ethereum. They're getting rid of a lot of Ethereum. Let's just look at outflows. 10 hours ago, it was 10, 20, 30, 40,000 Ethereum. And then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 19. Okay, then. So we've had quite a bit of Bitcoin near enough. 3,000 Bitcoin has left there. Okay. Sailors bought 8. But BlackRock sold 4.5 yesterday. So they're just catching up with Sailor's purchase. So Sailor is ahead by nearly 1,000. It's not looking good, if I'm quite frank with you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just break it down for you with Nvidia. Nvidia's price action is doing very well, okay? However, if we look at its fundamentals, technically it is a flawless stock, okay? Its projected earnings per share over the next 2 years to 2027 is 49%. For every share that you hold in Nvidia in 2026, you're going to earn $4.56. Equally, going into 2027, you're going to be earning $6.82. That is absolutely wild. This earnings per share growth rate is at nearly 80%. That is brilliant. Accumulation distribution rating is saying a D+. So it's not really up there with the A's that we need it to be to suggest that investors are actually accumulating this stock. Okay, but we've seen volume taper off quite a bit on its rally to the upside, which is a bit of a cause for concern. 8,943 funds hold this stock. Do you understand at how wild that is? Huge amount of funds are invested in this bad boy, but risk off is starting to come into play. How do we know? Well, let's just go and have a look at everything across the board. First things first, the 10-year bonds market seemed to be stabilizing. Cool. 10-year yield on the yen still going up. That's a problem. And then we go over to the volatility index, and you can see it's up spiking 4%. We got a little bit more of a room to the upside yet for the VIX. There's still more hedging, in my opinion. I've marked these off, and you guys saw that. 23. I mean, if Nvidia misses, and we get, I don't think it would be causing a major event, but it will wind up a few market participants. But given that the S&P and the NASDAQ have effectively had a number of distribution days build up, okay? Look, all this selling all the way at the high and price structurally has actually rolled over implies that the market could be primed for another further move to the downside, okay? Going into NASDAQ, it's down. It's locked another distribution day, 1.32%, okay? So that takes the distribution days from 4 to 5 on the NASDAQ and 8 on the S&P. That is actually, 90, okay? So we've got a few more minutes until, if they do lose another 0.1%, okay, then we are in a distribution territory. That would mean that there will be 8 days of distribution on the S&P and 5 on the NASDAQ. That's no good, okay? That is not good at all. All right, so we've got to really take that into consideration. What day is it today? It's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah. My brain has gone wild today. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? I'm only going to do a few questions and then we can call it a day. Tino, who's buying shares from them? They're selling them to the open market, man. That's what they're doing. They're selling them into the market. Just look at the order flow. There are investors that are buying and selling continuously. All right. Even the traders, they'll just take those shares. Has you ever told the story of the Barnet? That was one quick rug pull. Huh? Oh, alts are dropping again. What do you mean alts are dropping? Wasn't it altcoin season today? Surely it was altcoin season today. AMP is up there. Zcash is up there. Well, Axis is up there. Curve is up there. Souls. Okay. Crow. Ave. Smooth Love Potion still going. XLM. Link. Jasmine. Have I even changed the chart yet? Is there an altcoin that's performing at all? Look at this. This is shocking. They're going to eat that wick, man. I'm telling you, most altcoins are going to eat those wicks, whether you like to admit it or not. I'm sorry. I'm giving you the truth and the facts of things. All right? BNB has eaten the wick, which is good news. Oh, not very nice. That was probably the only thing that done well. Tezos, 1 inch, is doing relatively well, but green vector right there can be a problem for us. Another wick right there. Don't forget XRP. Where's a stair? Okay, yeah, let's have a look at a stair. Hold on a second. It's climbing. It's climbing. I'm telling you, it's going to come back to that wick. It's on its way. What's lost money today? Oh, that's a bit dead. Look at that. Weren't these coins that we had before? That's shocking, man. My altcoins boss list is just depleted, man. They've cancelled them. Jesus, man. That is absolutely wild. Crypto. Cryptocurrency. It's all on Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. It's all up to Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? It's starting to roll. Interesting rolling of Bitcoin. Wow. Anyways, what happened to Circle? Listen, Circle is fine in my opinion. Did you want an all? I know what you wanted. Okay. When I said it's a long-term play, you thought it was 15 minutes. Yeah, it's bleeding. It's bleeding. It's dropping, but that's fine. That is perfectly fine. That's a discount. That is a discount. Sorry. That is a discount. Where's Coinbase? Hold on. Let's do this. Okay. All right. Go to the weekly. All right. Here we are. When Coinbase came into play, they shocked the bed. Okay. But then they came straight back up. I'm telling you, it's a long-term play. They're going to do exactly the same for Circle. It's going to go back up because there is a service and there is a massive demand for it. I'm telling you. But people want all-time high in 5 minutes. And that's when the price is at 0. And then they want it to go to 2,000 because it was there before. Be realistic. You're playing long-term plays with this one. Big time. Okay? Not this one. This one. All right? 314 funds playing it. You've got no prospects of any earnings per share. Anything that anytime you buy this stock, okay, you're going to see some reward from it in the future. Give them a chance. Give them 5 fucking minutes, man. My God. What about American Bitcoin stock? Yes, ABTC. I know that one. ABTC just recently had UBS. I spoke about it yesterday. UBS has just purchased 41,000 shares of this. And it's gone up 10 cents. Wow. Well, why are UBS getting involved in it? Switzerland's largest bank that manages $6 trillion. Why don't you buy Bitcoin, bro? Why aren't you going to Bitcoin? Why are you buying a company called American Bitcoin, a mining company? Why don't you buy the Bitcoin? You got flavor, you got money. Why aren't you buying the Bitcoin? Because I've said this before. Cryptocurrency is going to get to a point where it's just going to be a speculative asset. All money surrounding crypto is going to go into cryptocurrency-based stocks. Finished. That's where the liquidity is going to go. Why? Regulation. It's safer. They know where they stand with these companies. Because to get on the stock market, there's big legislation that you got to go through. Okay? It is subject to the expansion contraction. All right? Priest, you know the flavor. Right? Those are the only 2 things the market does. When it goes down, it then goes back up. It's got the best success rate at recovering. So just sit tight and wait for it. But cryptocurrency has got the culture that We need to make the gains now, not in the future. That's why Warren Buffett is sat on $368 billion of cash. All right, he's in his flipping 80s, but we all look like we're 80. We've been in crypto, what, 3-4 years? Yeah, now it stresses me out. Bank losses graphic, please, and your thoughts. What, the bank losses? Yeah, 568 billion. They've yet to update it, and they're not going to, because then that will really put things into perspective. To put it into perspective, bank gains and losses, it was 218 billion in 2018 to 250 billion in 2018. The market crashed. When we say crash, it corrected. Now it's at like 560 billion, and the market is at all-time highs. So obviously this time it's different. Tell me why it's different. Regulation will mess up crypto for future gains. Make as much money now before the government-sponsored AI mandates to manage your portfolio by force. What was I talking about before? About regulation in cryptocurrency? Why we need it? No. Yeah. Look, to be frank with you, it's you need you. Have you guys got any of these? Like, have you heard about these? These little Thailand air things that you just sniff. They smell, and it refreshes you up for the freshen up for the. Anyways, those who know. Have you got any questions for me? Come on, this time is different. Before you had hair, now I don't. That's correct. I've shorted towards the vector most of the day and much before short trades. To be fair, less risk too. Yeah, we are in a risk-off environment. Okay? We are in a risk-off environment, in my opinion. It's sort of like a tiger bomb, but it's, yeah. Anyways, Solana is the new Bitcoin. I mean, Solana is the new Bitcoin. This is worrying. I'm sorry. Everything pumping up, but NASDAQ has given you the truth of it all. It's made its pump, no vectors, and it's straight back down again. All right? That shows you it's short covering. Squeeze and then roll. Squeeze and then roll. That's consistent with bearish markets. Fade the rallies. Bang. Mad love, Pozo. Any what are we at? 1,021 of you. Look Solana on the monthly. Insane head and shoulders. Probably. You remember that guy with the big belly? All right, on the monthly. I mean, that is a wild time frame to be looking at just for the time being. I mean, yeah, this is, yeah. You know what? For every retraction that you have seen, contraction that you have seen in the stock market, okay, I guarantee to you there has been a macro event that has triggered it. We haven't had any major macro events leading up until this move to the upside in 2023, from 2022. 2023 going up to 2024. We didn't really have that other than the fact that interest rates were high, but AI was just coming into it. When we had this story over here in 2021, we had a war, and that caused a little bit of a problem. Then we had Biden just doing all sorts of things. Who misses Biden, man? I miss that, bro, so much. I have to take my blood pressure before every day I'm going to start try and trade, or because I'm worried about Trump. He's going to speak here. He's going to go there. Where's his calendar? Let's have a look at his calendar for 5 minutes. Hold on. What we got here? What's he going to be doing? Here we go. So Tuesday. Oh, we don't know. Well, what's he done today? Yeah, he obviously was speaking with the king's prime minister of Saudi Arabia and what have you. We got $1 trillion. Awesome. Thank you very much. Where does that put us with the interest rates? Wait there. Let's have a look. 51.4. This is so dead. Did we not have hype about getting interest rate cuts? But no. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here, and you're only going to hear it here because no one else is telling you about it. And if they are, stick with them. Keep them close to you. Japan. They are what we need to focus on. Bank of America piling up in Japanese stocks. Warren Buffett is piling up in Japanese stocks. Bank of America have projected that the expectation of the Japanese yen is going to go up in the future. They are net long on the yen. Why should we focus on it? Why should we, man? We're close to 1.76. This isn't good, ladies and gentlemen. Look at what we're dealing with here. That is just a wild chart. Subprime mortgage crisis, right? When everything crashed, yen made that claim, right? And then it just rolled over ever since. The yen goes down. This is proof. This is the monthly chart, okay? Wait there. Wait there. Let me prove something to you. This will make sense. Oh, no. What the hell? Really? Oh, hold on. Yes. Let's just do that, see if it puts a longer term in it. Please? No. Why am I not getting anything like that? Is it not because it's not old enough? What the hell? Oh. Wait, why is it not working? Yes. It should be like, surely it's got history from then, man. Come on. The only thing that's got it is SP500. Let's just buy SP500. Come on. Tell me you got the... Okay, here we go. For some reason, what the fuck? What the hell's wrong with this? All right, is it all the way up there? Here we go. Okay, so... Just look, what I'm trying to say to you guys is this. This shooting up like this, okay, is bad news, all right? And we're going to get a transition very soon, right? And when this transitions, that's when the markets are going to pull back. When the yen goes up, they're not putting it to work, all right? And that, for me, is the next thing. It's the only next thing, because clear as day that the US debt is not a problem for any of them. It's not. There's no problem with the US debt. Your dollar purchasing power is obviously, it's about to do something really interesting. Okay. Dollar purchasing is coming into a situation where we're consolidating and holding out to the upside. Barkin today was saying things about the labor market, saying it was soft and what have you, but it's not too bad. So that was good news for the dollar, which is why the euro moved up and then it moved down. It's just nothing's working. Investment in AI is helping to make the US economy the hottest in the world, but overregulation by the states is threatening to undermine this growth engine. Some states are even trying to embed DEI to ideology. Anyways, Trump's just talking wet again, okay? He's calls for one federal standard on AI models. Why are you doing that? Oh, we will resume publishing commitments of traders' reports on Wednesday. So we've been doing all of this without the commitment of traders' reports. Wow. That is crazy, man. What a time to be alive in the markets. It's just absolutely dog. FX is almost random walk. Nah, FX is not a random walk. FX is a true, in my opinion, a true representation of where we are with economies all the time. All the time. Dollar yen trading at 155. What do you take from that? You know that the Bank of Japan are going to intervene and start buying dollars because they can't have a strong dollar against the yen. Okay? What's going on in the yen right now? They've got inflation problems. Their wage inflation's going up. They need to maintain, go back to the idea of a normal policy. Okay? Because they don't have a normal policy, monetary policy, that is. Okay? Money's just too cheap. Inflation is 0.000. You got the Japanese yen behaving better than altcoins. Okay? So, but it's still the same price as them. Anyways, right? But yet it's the most amount of money that is being borrowed around the world, the carry, all right? That's just USD JPY pairs. The euro, when the dollar's doing bad, the euro goes up. When investors are concerned about things, they go to the euro and they deem it as a safe haven. Rates on the euro, 2.14%, rates on the dollar at 4%. Where are you going to park your money or borrow your money? You're going to borrow your money in euros, but where you're going to earn yourself a yield, you're going to go over and go to the dollar and pick up yield over there because your rates are what? 4.40 spot percent. Right? Now they want to get more cuts, so we're going to go down to 3.75%. Well, we're 50-50 with that, okay? But you still got inflation. So I'm going to go over to the euro because they don't really have inflation. Their inflation trajectory is going lower. That's why they cut their rates 10 times. We ain't getting no reduction in inflation. So I'll tell you what, I better go over to gold because even though gold's a zero-yielding asset, it's better for me to hold gold than it is to dollars, right? This is Forex 101. What's going on with oil's price? USD CAD. What's that saying? Well, USD CAD goes down. Okay. That means oil's price technically should be going up. So let's go and have a look at oil. Oh, 1.27%. What's the economy saying? Well, investors are a little bit concerned, aren't they? So they go over to oil. Okay. We've already got so much back and forth with regards to sanctions in Russia. All right. And I pulled up one single article, ladies and gentlemen, to tell you this. It's all Forex. Forex tells you what they're doing with money. If the stock market goes down and the dollar is going down, but the bonds are going up, what do they want? Safety. If the euro's going up and the yen's going up and the dollar's going down, what do they want? Havens. It's all Forex. All of it is. It's all Forex. The perception of value. Volatility index pumping up. Investors are hedging themselves. And it looks like they're using their hedging on more. They're using dollars for the hedge, which means they're offloading positions. All right. Maybe coming out of European yields and European stock and then parking it into dollars, which explains why the bonds market is trading positive and the yields are trading negative. Right now, the yields are down 0.97% on the 2 years, on the 2Es, 0.5%, 3.69% on the 5 year. And then the 10-year is coming in at 4.1% negative. So, and that's not even going through this. That's not even looking at any articles on Bitcoin or any ETFs or SoftBank or sentiment charts or any shit like that. It just doesn't make any sense to look at it other than Forex. When you've got the logic of what makes money move from a fundamental perspective, then you can justify the technical side to it. Because if, for example, money is going to be cheaper, okay, in the future, that's good prospects for Bitcoin, is it not? Cool. But is Bitcoin an asset that is cheap to consume? No. It's very expensive, all right? So that puts investors off. What about the idea of buying Bitcoin, okay, from a hedge fund manager's perspective? All right. Don't you notice that a lot of hedge fund players, all right, or any companies that do buy Bitcoin, they're buying it in small amounts, other than the guys who go and get it for treasury purposes, okay? But when you hear about a company investing in Bitcoin, I mean, look at BlackRock. They only hold $10 million worth of Bitcoin. Ain't that embarrassing? That is just dead. $12 trillion company holds $10 million worth of Bitcoin. What are you trying to say to me, BlackRock? Listen, I've said this before. Fundamentals are the core when we're dealing with fundamentals, right? When we had 0.25% interest rates on the dollar, I never looked at fundamentals, didn't care. I never looked at them because I didn't need to, because the narrative was money was cheap. And for every pullback, I just went back in on it. I didn't need to care about it. But then when inflation started to go up and then the interest rates started to go up and then they increased them so aggressively, I was like, I need to go back and start referring to those charts that I always wanted to dismiss back in the day. I read through everything and anything you can think of when it comes to theories behind the stock market, investment portfolio, and all that madness. Done it all right? But what they don't teach you at schools is the working theories, Okay? The theories that take the existing data that we've got, even though the data is cooked in itself. But for example, the beverage curve, right? That is a cool reading. Or the city revisions index. Why is that important for you? Why do you need to know about the city revisions index? Because if it shows you that you've got revisions coming into play and that are positive, it means that they're updating stocks prices in the future. Right now, we've got that problem where they're starting to be a little bit reluctant at increasing the prices of tech stock. Why? Because it's overvalued. Peter Thiel getting rid of stock because it's overvalued. SoftBank getting people to ask questions more than the answers they're giving. Why? Why are you selling your Nvidia stock, bro? It's got its earnings. Aren't the earnings going to be good? Well. And then I bought XRP and staked ADA. You, my friend. Yeah, you just screwed the live. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is going to be a very big day. Please, please don't even try and attempt to take on risk. It's not a day for risk tomorrow, in my opinion. It's not. Because the markets, given what they've done so far, you can see they've marked up and they've come straight back down again. It shows you that investors are selling the rallies and trying to buy the dips. And when they do buy the dips, they sell quick. That is a problem. Just quickly looking, you can see Bitcoin today has barely sold any offers. There's gaps in the offer, which tells me that there was very light volume being traded today on Bitcoin. Let's just quickly have a look. That is just absolutely shocking. Look at that volume. Look at that. That is just piss poor. I'm sorry, Bitcoin. So from 2 o'clock, the market, look at that. Very light volume. That is shocking. Should be way more than that. Way more than that. There you go. 200s, 300s. That's what we should be getting. Not flipping. What are we at? 49 million, 28 million. And then when they're pulling back, selling, it's nearly 151. Where is Bitcoin right now? Oh, good. It's making a little bit of recovery back up. It's done the bounce into the retrace. Okay, cool. But just be careful trading tomorrow. Tom Lee is my uncle. Mad love to him. I like Tom Lee. Anyways, if he is your uncle, tell him to come on this live stream, man. Anyways, listen, Nvidia will dump tomorrow. Okay, how many of you betting that Nvidia will dump tomorrow? Please put your bets. And on the way out, hit the like button, subscribe. It's free, it's cheap. Just do it. Never mind if you don't. But otherwise, see you tomorrow. I want my bed. Right, I'm out.